My new favorite scholar, Amanda Alexander, and she is at Australian Catholic University. 2007, she published a terrific essay called The Genesis of the Civilian. So civilian isn't some kind of eternal category that goes on down through the ages, right? So the civilian is a specific way of viewing non-combatants that can be traced to the First World War. So before that war, non-combatants were seen by the law and by prevailing cultures as citizens, and it was essentially taken for granted that citizens would share the fate of their state. But now, in the modern view, the people in Gaza should not share the fate of Gaza, right? They should not share the fate of the entity that controls Gaza, Hamas. Do I find the Hebrew Bible bleak and the omniscient God to be cruel? No, I am able to relate to the Hebrew Bible. So there are certainly bleak passages in the Hebrew Bible, but it seems to match the bleakness that's there in life. And then there's also a lot of love and celebration and happiness and joy in the Hebrew Bible as well. So I don't resonate with the scriptures. I do resonate with the Hebrew Bible. So prior to the First World War, the citizen was seen as potentially and likely aggressive and essentially bound to the fate of his state. Now we think that the people of Gaza, they should not have to bear the price that their state, that their entity, that Hamas is facing. But prior to World War I, it would have been taken for granted that, of course, the people of Gaza will have to bear the fate of the entity that governs and runs their lives. So prior to World War I, right, the citizen was granted only minimal protection by law. Right? There was no violation of the laws of war if necessary to starve the citizens of a country. But the First World War brought about technological change and a propaganda effort that transformed citizens into civilians. And so civilians were seen as essential to the war effort, which meant that they were now a legitimate target. At the same time, citizens were feminized, described as vulnerable women deserving of protection. So today, citizens attract the protection of international law, they attract the attention of the world, so the fate of the citizens of Gaza is the primary concern of the world's news. And so among many observers of the Israel-Gaza conflict, the plight of civilians is the foremost concern. Prior to World War I, they were not the foremost concern. So in those who specialize in international humanitarian law and human rights, right, the inviolability of the civilian has become obvious and crucial. It's thought of as the foundation of the international order. This perspective would have been completely unimaginable prior to World War I.